What up, familia? It's your favorite Puerto Rican Brooklyn Philly, and I'm back with another message, right? What I heard prior to turning on the camera is I'm talking to a collective who is one tired of, but also becoming very self-aware of social media, right? And its optical tricks and illusions, right? And what I'm talking to or referencing right now, and it's interesting, right? Because we're in Mercury retrograde. There's something about communication. The communication is glitching. So I'm hearing, yeah, the false mask, the false personas, they're glitching. They're glitching. Now I'm, no offense to anybody, but that G1, I think it's a drug that helps you, that is supposed to be for diabetes, but it's also being used by people to lose weight. Again, I'm just speaking what I'm hearing. There's something about you're going to be able to see the glitching, the glitches, right? What happens, the effects. Scorpio may be relevant. The sign of Scorpio, it says determined and forceful, emotional and intuitive, powerful and passionate, exciting and magnetic. But also in the reverse, it could be jealous and resentful, compulsive and obsessive. There's something about the glitching is going to become very evident in the next couple of, I heard days, then I heard weeks. The glitching, right? There's something about the false persona, the illusions that are created and are personified and are emitted through the airwaves, particularly through social media platforms, right? The fact that I can add a filter to this, the fact that I fix my chair in a certain way, the fact that I position myself in a certain way. There's something about, look, mind games. There's something about the harm or the damage that is done to all of us, that we're all culpable to, when we follow sound bites, tidbits, 30-second reels, right? These Insta shots that are only, now I'm seeing shot, like, a camera that throws multiple shots that only shows glimpses, right? In many multi-seconds, I'm hearing, of people's lives, right? In that sense, I can make anybody's life look fulfilling or advantageous or prosperous or abundant, right? You got a player, non-committal, community cup, ew, and then DTF down to, right? Mind games, manipulation, trickery, confusion. So we may be talking about, I don't know, for some of you, a Scorpio energy that you may know of that plays mind games and is like non-committal. But it's not talking about a specific person. It's talking about an energy. It's talking about a vibration, right? It's interesting that we have the like opening of the brain here, the mind. Now I'm hearing the frontal lobe, right? Doesn't develop till 25. But it's more than that. I'm hearing mind fuckery. Yeah, there's a way that social media is able to create this mind fuckery over all of us, right? I'm hearing we've been bamboozled, we've been hoodwinked, right? Because again, I can take anybody, even a non-committed player, and make him look like he's the most charming, most lucrative, most available bachelor in the world. I can take anybody and personify them in any kind of way, or people do, right? You're only getting, again, sound bites. I'm hearing access, right? You're only having access to what I, as the content provider, right, wants you to get access to, right? Because you only have, for example, in this reel, have 10 minutes of me, but then the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of my life, you have no clue who I can be, who I am, what I really go through, right? There's something my eye got caught on. Look, promiscuity, lust, copycat. Yeah. They're telling me to go with the deck. Look, all these cards fell. Let's go with it. There's something about don't believe the hype, right? There's something about Mary, the movie. I don't know why that's significant. That maybe for somebody, maybe you just finished watching it or you need to watch it. Yeah, in that movie, there's something about Mary. The guys were like acting like different roles, right? Even the one guy who was acting, I think he was a paraplegic. The paraplegia. Isn't that in a song too, a rap song? Is that a Jigga song, whatever? But there's something about, yeah, they were all phony. They were all personifying a side of them to get Mary, right? And they were all lies. So with the roses, what I heard was look, contentment. I'm hearing there's lack of contentment, right? Or you only get temporary contentment from being the person who distributes that. My whole body felt like it was just vibrating on a generator, and I didn't notice it until it stopped. That was interesting, but for those last like 20 seconds as I was speaking, my whole body was like the way you would feel like if I was sitting on a spin cycle of a machine or an actual generator. There was something, some frequency just literally emitted otherworldly. Interesting. Group association, cult coven. Yeah, this is like cult like. It's become cult like, right? To kind of personify or give off these images that for the most part are very false, right? And they're very misleading. Misleading to who? Possibly to our youth that can be very gullible and very naive, right? To make them think, to make you think, to make me think, to make us think that, life is a wonder, right? My life is full of glitz and glamour. Again, they're telling me, tell you about the roses. I have a calendar up and it's on still in the month of February. I have to change it. But it is a big bouquet of roses, and there's something about trigger alert warning for somebody that a girl or a guy, right, as energy can post a bouquet of roses 1 minute and say, oh, look at what hubby got me. He just got me the Chanel purse or this Estée Lauder, perfume and this roses. But they fail to or omit, right? Lie by omission. I'm hearing they omit to tell you that the reason why they just got that bouquet of roses. Now I'm hearing Ike Turner, Tina Turner, when he came back with the big box of the present and woke her up in the middle of the night with it. She failed to tell you, or he failed to tell you, that the reason for the roses, the reason for the perfume, the reason for the pocketbook, the reason for the tool set, whatever, was because he was apologizing, or she was apologizing for some fuckery, some buffoonery, right? The fact that he had just whooped that white whatever. Confirmation. Again, don't believe the snippets, right? Witchy sister, Aquarius, knowledge. What are you saying here, spirit? Yeah, there's something witchy about it, right? And not that witch is negative and all this. If you know, you know. But if we're taking the stereotype about witchy sister, right, is to bewail you, right? To I put a spell on you, right? Again, it's a spell. Is a false illusion, right? I'm creating, right? If I'm showing you snapshots of when I go to the restaurant, when I go to on vacation, you think my life is like this lush, but I may be very much an empty shell that's depressed as fuck and don't got nothing going on. Like there's this. So what are you telling us? Yeah, get the knowledge, right? Don't seek real knowledge. The age of Aquarius is going to be exposing this. There's something very significant about that. It keeps coming up for me. Work, job. Yeah, the feminine, right, is really wanting to expose, and is going to be very prominent, very prevalent in exposing charlatans, right? Yeah, charlatan, deceptive, trickster, fraud. Yes. Through energy work, right? I'm hearing spirit say these cameras, right? If I am, whatever I'm spelling, spells, right, words, whatever I'm emitting is energy and this frequency and this vibes, and you are, as they're being transmitted and we're being receptive to it, right? Watch what you hear, what's your job? Are you, there's something about what are you working at, and then sweet, compassionate, and innocent, right? Yeah, there's something about like the tricksters, the charlatan are really working hard to deceive and to go after the sweet, the gullible, the innocent, right? And do energy work, right? Through the information they're emitting. So this is a warning video. Yeah, that's what it was all about. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. acceptability, adaptability, change, and adjustment, right? What are you adapting to? What are you adjusting to? Or do you need to pivot from this shit? Pay attention.